What's going on, everybody? K2 here with the Summer Showdown tournament. We are going to go ahead and cover today, just today's video, our pool play of the tournament that went on. So first of all, let's go ahead and preface this by saying that this happened 2 weeks ago now? 2.5 weeks ago? 10 days ago? Yeah, 10 days ago. Good job, mate. I can math. And the draft happened about 3 weeks ago, and we all drafted 8 mons per team, and we can get thrown into a pool with a bunch of other people just randomly thrown in there. And I got thrown into a pool. I was representing the PPL Division 2, of course. Merc representing the GPC. Gypsy King, who was representing the MPL, of course, you know, the league that I created. How do I almost forget what it was called? And then Tom Z of the GBA. Tom basically had to work that on the day of the tournament, so he wasn't able to play, and we all got basically a 3-0 forfeit win. So we were not able to get a match against him. However, we did get matches against Merc here and Gypsy. So I'm going to go over these 2 matches of pool play, and then the next episode I'll cover the actual tournament, or the bracket. Just spoilers, I made it out of my pool, just in case. Like, I'll go ahead and spoil it because it's like not that hard to find out. I went 3-1, or yeah, 3-1 on the day, and ended up my only loss came in the actual bracket, where I lost in the Sweet 16 game. I was really proud of the way that I played during the tournament. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to sit here and share with you basically the teams that I brought, why I brought them, and why did it, well, not so well, but why I made certain plays, and what the outcomes of the games were. So let's go ahead and talk about my team against Merc. Of course, Merc's team, pretty scary. We can look at it right now. It's a Mega Aerodactyl, along with some pretty bulky things. But his only ground type on this team was Hippowdon. And I also saw that a dual stab Mega Diancie runs through his team. So that's what I'm bringing. I have a Pursuit Metagross, a Flame Charge Volcanion, which after a +1 speed is able to speed creep a Mega Aerodactyl that speed creeps a Mega Diancie. So if I'm able to pull that off, I'm going to be able to outspeed a Mega Aerodactyl only after +1 instead of a normal +2 that I would need. I forget what kind of stupid ass Garchomp that is, and I forget absolutely what kind. Oh wait, no, it's Rocky Helmet Garchomp, Rocky Helmet Roughtskin, and then there's a Rocky Helmet Tentacruel. Just because I wanted to punish the 2 things that he had that offensively check Mega Diancie, which are Scizor with Bullet Punch and Azu, which he didn't bring. So those just get off massive damage with the Rocky Helmet on each of them, so it basically just wears down his physical attackers. So that's basically it. Let's go ahead and get into the match. So, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with Mega Diancie, possibly expecting the Hippowdon coming in, as he can set up rocks pretty freely if I don't lead my Diancie, so that's going to be the play. And right here you can see, let's put this on normal, he leads Heliolisk, and he's not going to go for the Volt Switch. Instead, he's going to go straight into Hippowdon, either expecting my my Protect or whatever I might have wanted to go for. Like, Volt Switch isn't doing too much. You could have HP Steal, but that's kind of a waste because Heliolisk is not outspeeding a Mega Diancie. after I get my Mega Evolution. So just an overall good play on his end. switching straight into Hippowdon, but you are going to see that I pull a double as well, and I go straight into Garchomp. Now right here, I can go for my rocks, however I'm going to go straight into Mega Diancie here. So this Mega Diancie set is supposed to take on a Hippowdon. Why, you may ask? Because I have Magnet Rise, and that's what I'm going to go for. And basically, I get a free sub now, because he can't EQ me. The strongest move that he could have for me is a Stone Edge, and you're going to see that he actually, well, first of all, he goes for the Slack Off, and I'm going to be able to gauge how much Moonblast does. It's nearly a Tiwa KO, but you're going to see here that he reveals the Ice Fang. Eventually, I'm going to get a crit on him, and like all that, all the subbing up isn't going to matter. So I'm going to go ahead and Moonblast. Barely not going to kill. He's going to go ahead and Slack Off. And I believe this is the turn that I crit him, and I called it. I was like, you know what, eventually I'm just going to crit him, and as I said crit him, he got crit and died. So that's that. Now he has to bring in his Scizor here, and I get a free thingamajig, Diamond Storm on this Scizor, which does 50%. Even with the defense raise, it's not going to matter. I'm not going to live this, so I just feel like my best play overall is just going straight into Garchomp here. So that's what I'm going to do, get off some massive damage with the Rocky Helmet and the Rough Skin, and you are going to see that it's going to put him below 25%, which pops his Ganlon Berry. Ganlon Berry, if you guys don't know, is Natural Gift Ice. So he could have caught this Garchomp on the switch if he decided to go for it. However, he loses his Ganlon Berry, and now I can get up my rocks, which are going to be really nice for wearing down his team, especially for Mega Arrow, especially for Darmanitan. And he's not going to Bullet Punch, stay in here, and lose his Scizor for no reason. Because at that point, if he does that, Mega Diancie again just runs through his team. And also, like, Darmanitan can't lock itself into EQ against Mega Diancie if I have the Reflect up. And also, like, if he is Scarf Darmanitan, I have a Wobbuffet on my team, and it just wouldn't do that great against Wob. It would be just something, an easy trap and kill, basically, for Wob. So he is going to go straight into Latios as I set up my rocks. And I'm going to go straight into my Assault Vest Metagross to take on whatever this Latios wants to do. I easily take that, well, not so easily, but I take that Shadow Ball, and all I want to do here is put Latios in range of killing with Thundy's U-turn or Mega Diancie with the Moonblast. So I am going to go ahead and click Pursuit here, and he's going to stay in, which is completely fine. We already see that he's Life Orb and not Cobra Berry, so he's going to be wearing himself down. I'm just going to go ahead and Bullet Punch because this turn kind of was 50-50. I know he could have started boosting back up, but I also knew that he knew that I knew that, so I predicted him not to go for it. So a lot of mind games. I just get off the good damage with the Bullet Punch, and as you're going to see, that's exactly what happens. He takes Life Orb damage. He's at like just barely above Rock's range, and I can just click U-turn here. He's going to opt to save his Latios, and we are going to get this U-turn off. It is a crit, kind of sucks for him, and we can go straight into our Flame Charge, Whack and Berry Volcanion, and get a free Flame Charge up. So he is going to go for the Volt Switch. It's going to do 42%. And this is the freest Flame Charge ever, because even if he stayed in, clicked T-Volt or Hyper Voice expecting to get off big damage, I kill the Heliolisk and get off a Flame Charge, and I outspeed the rest of his team. So right here, we are going to see that I am going to be able to outspeed this Mega Arrow because I got my investment correct, and down goes Mega Aerodactyl. with the Steam Eruption. And right here, he's going to go into the Darmanitan, completely fine. We're going to click Steam Eruption, it's not really going to matter. And right here, he brings in Heliolisk. Good play. I can just click Flamethrower here, though. I wanted to see what did more, whether Steam Eruption or another Flame Charge did more. I just said, you know what, screw it, let's go for Flamethrower. We get the burn, which is kind of cool, and he's going to go ahead and kill us off with Thunderbolt. Burn doesn't really matter, because Fundy T literally just wins by clicking T-Bolt 3 times now, because he cannot do enough damage with Scizor. We know he's not Scarf Latios, and we outspeed a Scarf Darmanitan. So that's going to be what we do. We just click T-Bolt to win the game. Even a crit Bullet Punch would not have done enough. And down goes the Scizor. Down next goes Darmanitan. And lastly is going to be Latios. So we win game 1 4-0. And I am pretty happy. Well, I was pretty happy after that game. Because after the last tournament, the March Madness tournament, I was definitely out for redemption. This tournament, and I really wanted to get off to a good start. So basically, in theory, we're already 2-0 plus 7. Basically, a guarantee into the bracket rounds. So I felt really good after that match. And next up, we went up against Gypsy. And against Gypsy, of course, one of the best league battlers there is out there. So of course I had quite the task in front of me going up against him. Now, I was not feeling too good about my matchup going against him. I knew that Volcanion did a lot of work, and I knew that Thundy did a lot of work. However, I also needed to be able to check his offensive threats, such as Volcarona, such as Gyarados, and the best way I felt to do that would be with Stealth Rocks. He doesn't have that great of hazard removal. He didn't even bring his only form of hazard removal, which was Zapdos, on his team. And if I get up my rocks, it's going to break any sashes, like on Lucario, on Gengar. And the coverage that I have on Thundy is T-Bolt and Sludge Wave, which hits his entire team. If not super effectively, it's going to kill after a Nasty Plot, which is the Thundy set that I went with. I went with Dual Dance with those two moves, T-Bolt and Sludge Wave. So that's going to be basically my way of winning the game, is either with Flame Charge Volcanion or with Thundy. It's going to be pretty tough to do that, because he does have the really strong priority in Banded, or not Banded E-Speed, but E-Speed on Lucario. So I do have the cheeky Chilon Berry on Thundy in order to live a potential E-Speed, if that's going to be his stopgap for Thundy. Again, I am bringing a Pursuit Metagross. However, this Metagross is Cassie Berry, so I can switch into Shadow Balls from Mega Gardevoir better than an AV set on Metagross. I am a Rocks Garchomp, and I don't even know what kind of Tentacruel that was, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into the battle. So let's put this on normal again. So I'm going to lead, bless you, I'm going to lead Garchomp, get up my rocks, and he sets up a Dragon Dance. This was super scary, because with the +1 in speed and +1 attack, I don't have any Scarfers on this team. He doesn't know that, but I know he doesn't know that, so I'm gonna have to really bluff his Scarf. Also, on top of that, if he's no stab on Gyarados, if he opts for Ice Fang, EQ, Stone Edge, he hits my entire team super effectively. Which, like, not even just this team, like everything on my team except for Wobbuffet gets hit super effectively by that. However, I do have a Chesnaught on my team, so possibly opted for something like Bounce. I'm not quite sure. I didn't really speak to him about his Gyarados set. Let's just go ahead and continue on. Garchomp goes down. I get off the rough skin damage. Right there I clicked Dragon Tail in case you wanted to get cheeky and get up another Dragon Dance. And also just sacking Garchomp is my best play. Right after this I went straight into Thundy. And the only play I have here is to click T-Bolt. It was either T-Bolt or Volt Switch. I didn't have Volt Switch. So I wanted to make sure that if I do give up momentum, it's all for the better, because that way he's switching out and getting rid of that +1/+1 on Gyarados. So I am going to go ahead and drop the T-Bolt as he goes into his Trace Gardevoir, and right here, I know that because I am Double Dance Thundy, a Sludge Wave is not going to be able to kill Gardevoir here, and Shadow Ball does way too much damage. Even for his middle ground play, Shadow Ball does too much damage to Thundy, so I need to go straight into Metagross here. That's my only play. I can get off the Pursuit damage, which will put Gardevoir in range of a Sludge Wave if he switches out. So he does go for Shadow Ball. I show my Cassie Berry, and he goes for another one. I barely live. I got off the Pursuit damage, which turns out to be a crit. Didn't really matter because the crit Pursuit, or regular Pursuit plus Rocks, a Sludge Wave from Thundy is killing Gardevoir. So not the biggest of deals. I'm just going to go ahead and click Bullet Punch here. I've gotten off enough damage as it is on Gardevoir, so if he's switching out, I want to get as much damage on whatever comes in instead. So that's what's going to happen. He's going to bring in the Volcarona, which is nice. And I'm going to put this in range to die to Rocks again. So unless he has Roost, this thing is basically useless, and he has to, 100% has to kill Metagross here. So he is going to kill me with the Bug Buzz, and we are going to see that he's Life Orb. So that's actually really nice. We can go straight into Volcanion here and get off a Flame Charge, as he's going to show the Hidden Power Rock, I believe it was. It was either that or Ground, because Ground hits Tentacruel, and otherwise he doesn't really have much to hit Tentacruel. So we are going to get off the Flame Charge. It's easily going to do 14%, and he's forced into his Lucario. We have Steam Eruption, which OHKOs his entire team, bar Celebi, which we hit with the Fire Blast, and we have the possibility, which I do have, of running Hidden Power Electric for Gyarados. So he's forced into Lucario. We get to see if it's Banded or Life Orb. If it's neither of those, it doesn't kill with E-Speed. So this is kind of checkmate if he is not Life Orb or Banded. However, we are going to see that he is Life Orb E-Speed. I had a chance of living that. Still had a chance of living that. It was in his favor to kill me, but there was still a chance that I lived that. I did the calc. If I was like fully bulky Volcanion, that was the calc that I did. I lived that unless he is Banded for sure, but he's Life Orb, and it kills us anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And right here we are going to go into Thundy. He thinks that I am Scarfed. I have the Cheelon Berry. I know I can take 2 E-Speeds here, and I can set up an Agility, and I can 2-hit KO the Celebi on the switch in. I can one-shot everything else on this team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the Agility. He cannot 2-hit KO me with E-Speed, and I would be able to get off the T-Bolt, which would kill the Lucario on the following turn. So he's going to opt to switch into Mega Gardevoir again, as I set up my Agility. And I'm going to get off that Sludge Wave, and this was a pretty scary moment of the game for him. He knew that Celebi could live a Sludge Wave, and that Lucario E-Speed plus Celebi's Psychic would be able to knock out Thundy. He does not know, however, that I am Cheelon Berry. So if I'm going to be able to win this game, I am going to have to get up the Nasty Plot and kill this Celebi with Sludge Wave. He does do quite a lot of damage with the Celebi, with the Psychic, and it goes down to Sludge Wave. And here's the moment of truth. I already know I already know that I win by clicking T-Bolt 3 times. He does not know that I have the Cheelon Berry. E-Speed is going to do pretty pathetic damage, only 26%, and he knows that he lost here. And he's going to go ahead and forfeit, so that is going to be a 3-0 victory. Thundy T coming in and cleaning up the game in both of our group stage games. And that's pretty fitting that Thundy T was the thing that started cleaning up games. I really enjoyed using this team in group play. Having a lot of time to prep just gave me so many options. There were so many things that I could think over and just look at the team and be like, you know, this does good against him, let's optimize the set. Going into the bracket play, you only have 15 minutes, I believe it was, in order to prep for your opponent. So there's not going to be as much of the optimization as you would think. There's not as many thoughts going through my head, or there's too many things going through my head for me to process what actually does the best amount of work against each of these two teams that I face in the bracket play. And you're going to have to see how I fared in the next video that I will be uploading sometime this week, maybe next week. But anyway, outside of that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and hit that like button down below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe for more. There is PPL still going on, and there's another episode of this if you enjoyed. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.